If you've watched any amount of Rocket League content on YouTube, you've probably seen or at least heard of SunlessKhan. He has the second most subscribed to Rocket League YouTube channel and averages over 1 million views per video. But what's his story, and how did he get to where he is today? This is the true story of SunlessKhan. When Sunless was in high school, he got his first Xbox. This is also when he got his name. He was using an Xbox name generator. One name had Sunless as the first word, and he liked that. Then another name had Khan as the second word, so he put them together and got his current name. As a high school student, he wanted to make movies in the future, so in college he studied film production. He was hired right out of college into a video production company, where he helped produce advertisements, including some that went national. At this time, he also made shorter videos as a hobby, but they were too inconsistent to gain an audience on YouTube. So while he had the skill and desire for YouTube, he did not yet have a good topic on which to grow his channel. Then, in early 2016, he started playing Rocket League. After starting the game on PC, he almost quit because he got stuck in Prospect, the lowest rank at the time. He was brought back to the game when it was released on Xbox, and he was able to play with his friends. He actually bought the game 3 times so that all his friends could have a copy. On January 20th, 2017, Sunless uploaded his first YouTube video. It's unlisted now, but it was about a training mod, the same one that NeatMike also made a video on, back when the only in-game training was the basic shooting, goalie, and aerial training. When he started making Rocket League videos, he really had no idea what direction he should take his channel in. A couple of his first public videos are just simple gameplay videos. But once Sunless started watching videos from a now forgotten Rocket League channel, League of Rockets, he was inspired. He saw that Rocket League content could become almost like cinema, like an art. This inspiration is very evident in his first real, edited video. It was a motivational piece about Rocket League, with cinematics illustrating a poem being read in the background. Sunless thought this would be the start of his growth on YouTube, and though the video has 50,000 views now, at the time it actually did not perform very well. This was disappointing for him, but it was a very temporary setback. Because, on March 19th, 2017, he would upload the first episode of Why You Suck at Rocket League. While at first glance it might seem like an informative tutorial, its real draw was its story and humor.
This video was made to discourage bad habits, but please do not reprimand your teammates during a game, as this will only make them play worse. It's much better to passive-aggressively shit on them after the game and post it to YouTube.
And the people loved it. He posted it to Reddit, and overnight it got over 1,000 upvotes, giving the video a few thousand views, and gave his channel about 300 subscribers. These numbers might seem small today, but it was enough to start a snowball effect on his channel. As he continued to upload these Why You Suck at Rocket League videos, his channel would begin to grow exponentially because he was the first person to focus on making this type of entertaining, creative content for Rocket League, a niche that was already saturated by gameplay, montages, and tutorials. Once he posted the season finale for the first season of Why You Suck at Rocket League, Sunless would start to experiment with more types of content. This would reveal 2 major issues that he would have to solve if he wanted to continue to expand his channel. The first issue is that he had a full-time job, and although he only worked 4 days a week, it still forced him to upload lower-effort gameplay videos to maintain a consistent upload schedule. At the time, even after the growth he had gotten over the past 3 months, quitting his job was still not a good option, and he would have to find another solution. What he later ended up doing was switching from shooting and editing videos at his job to being a full-time editor. While he still worked the same hours, editing was not as tiring, and this gave him more energy to focus on YouTube. The second issue is that, for the most part, the only videos that were getting good views on his channel were his Why You Suck at Rocket League videos. For example, his Rocket League game show video, somewhat reminiscent of the content he makes today, barely got any views because it was not interesting enough to his current audience. The only way Sunless would be able to solve this problem would be to grow his audience and get more experience on YouTube, which he would continue to do in the following months as he branched out from his Why You Suck series. Of course, he was not the only up-and-coming YouTuber from this time, and him and another fast-growing YouTuber would become friendly rivals. No, I'm not talking about Musty, who at this point only had 2 videos uploaded and hadn't even started his Musty Minute phase. Musty will be an important person later in the story, but right now I'm going to talk about the rivalry between Sunless and Fluump. Fluump started his channel in June of 2017, a little later than Sunless. When they started talking in early 2018, Fluump was quickly catching up, and at one point in the middle of that year, Fluump briefly overtook Sunless in subscriber count. But how did the rivalry benefit Sunless? To find the answer to that, let's take a closer look at the month of March 2018, a time that Fluump refers to as March Madness. During this month, Sunless and Fluump tried to make daily videos, including 4 higher effort videos and quite a few lower effort gameplay videos. Though they didn't meet this goal, the frequency in uploads would allow both of them to have their biggest months yet, despite having lower than average views on each video. This month taught them that their audience cared less about the quantity of videos and more about the quality of each video. Sunless would take this to heart, and to this day it is still very clear that he is much more focused on quality than quantity. As Sunless started to focus more effort into each individual video, he was finally able to grow his channel without relying on the Why You Suck at Rocket League series. It was really only a matter of time before he blew up. In October 2018, he posted his biggest video to date. It was called, "I hired a Rocket League coach on Fiverr, then challenged him to a 1v1. This video would blow up almost immediately, climbing to over 1 million views in a matter of days, and becoming the most viewed video on his channel for the next 2 years. What's interesting about this video is that, unbeknownst to Sunless, the coach actually knew it was him all along, but he still went along with it. As a thank you, Sunless bought the coach a new PC with some of the ad revenue. From my own experience with Sunless, I can confirm that he's one of the nicest people that I have met online. Coincidentally, it was at the end of this month that SunlessKhan would submit his 2 months notice to his job, and in December of 2018, he would officially become a full-time YouTuber. Now that he's become a full-time YouTuber, you might think that this is the end of his story, but that could not be further from the truth. When he became full-time, he only had about 200,000 subs, a far cry from the near 2 million he has today. So becoming full-time was not so much an end goal as it was a checkpoint along his journey. That said, even at this point he was pretty comfortable with where he was at, and the decision to go full-time hadn't been made when it would have been a struggle to make ends meet, but rather, as he puts it, when it would have been stupid to continue going to his full-time job. As he pumped out weekly videos throughout 2019, he did run into some problems in being a full-time content creator. As a YouTuber, he felt like it was difficult to separate his work life and personal life. He couldn't solve this problem on his own, but luckily his wife was able to help him out by making him a schedule with different blocks of time being scheduled for different things in order to help him stay organized and keep a healthy work-life balance. At the end of 2019, Sunless, along with Mertzy, would become some of the first Rocket League content creators to get signed to an org as they joined Spacestation Gaming. I do say some of the first and not the first because back in 2017, Sunless and Fluump had actually been signed to Allegiance, but that org dissolved a few months after they joined, so it did not make a large impact on the Rocket League scene. On the other hand, Spacestation Gaming has been able to impact the Rocket League scene pretty significantly. Shortly after joining, Sunless and Mertzy helped Spacestation recruit a large team of Rocket League content creators, and since then, Spacestation has hosted many large events to help grow the Rocket League content creation scene, and this in turn helped Rocket League grow as a whole. Over a year and a half later, Sunless is still on Spacestation Gaming. But let's go back to 2019. In this year, there were 2 major things happening, both of which would help SunlessKhan grow his channel at a rate that he previously thought was impossible. First of all, Epic Games, who you might know from a little-known game called Fortnite, bought Psyonix, the company that created Rocket League. And the second thing, remember that random guy called a musty cow that I told you to remember earlier because he'd be important later in the video? Well, at this point he was no longer just a random guy, he was now one of the fastest growing Rocket League content creators. Right at the end of 2019, a musty cow would make this tweet, setting a goal to reach 1 million subs by the end of 2020. Before this, Sunless didn't even think it would be possible for his own channel to hit 1 million subs, and at this point he actually had more subs than Musty, but after seeing this tweet he thought, maybe it is possible. While the race to 1 million subscribers between Musty and Sunless was unplanned and started as a joke, they quickly saw its potential to grow both of their channels, and they turned it into a friendly competition, with the winner receiving $1,000 from the loser. As the competition heated up, they began pulling stunts, one-upping each other to try to get to 1 million first. At one point, Sunless paid Linus Tech Tips for an ad, and, not to be outdone, Musty stared at the camera for an entire 10 seconds in an attempt to get more subs. Even though Musty would win this competition, getting to 1 million subscribers in September of 2020, Both channels had benefited massively from this race as Sunless reached that mark just a couple weeks later. As the race to 1 million wrapped up, another important event occurred. Likely caused by Epic's acquisition of Psyonix a year prior, Rocket League went free-to-play on September 23, 2020. This gave his channel a massive spike in views, and if you go to his most popular uploads, many of these were either uploaded after free-to-play, or were uploaded before free-to-play, and blew up in views afterwards. In the following 3 weeks, he gained more subscribers than he had in the previous 3 months. He was also able to partner with Psyonix to become the voice of their new beginner guide, Rocket League 101, and later, Rocket League Academy. Although the momentum has slowly been dying down, that is more a result of a slow decline in Rocket League's popularity after the initial hype of free-to-play than it is about Sunless's content. For as large of a content creator as he is, it might surprise you to learn that he's been doing most of his own editing. Paco, the current editor for Rizzo and John Sandman, used to work for Sunless, but they stopped working together due to their creative differences. Currently, Zeke works for Sunless, although I do not know how much he does outside of cinematics. Recently, Sunless has been trying to find more editors and build a team around himself. With the extra time he'll gain from this, he has said that he wants to create a second channel, perhaps for vlogs or cooking. Regardless of what he decides to do in the future, I can only imagine that we'll continue to see him create even more high-quality content.
I'm getting ripped tonight. R.I.P. that. Get up. Puts it a long way. It is almost there. Just hit the floor. Justin keeps it alive. Turbo pulsar there. Bounces up. It's a corner. Energy still around. Justin is there for the shot. Justin. This is Rocket League.